I would like to introduce PHMSA's relatively new administrator, Marie-Therese Dominguez, and she's going to start us off with some opening comments. So please welcome Administrator Dominguez.
All yours.
Thank you. Can I close this? Is that okay?
Sure.
Is it okay if I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to. Carl's the tech guy that's got all this stuff together, so I'm like, if I do that, am I going to mess you up? All right. Good morning, everybody. Everybody enlivened by Debbie Reynolds and Gene Kelly. I'm going to have to share a newer version of that. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's an Uptown Funk version of all the old classics. Gene Kelly and everybody else, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, doing Uptown Funk. I'm just telling you. Maybe tomorrow morning, Carl, get everybody going. All right, good morning, everybody. It really is a pleasure to join you all here today. I want to begin by acknowledging and thanking the Pipeline Safety Trust. You all have been longtime collaborators with PHMSA, and we share many of the same objectives and goals in safety. And I want to thank you very much for inviting me here to New Orleans to join you all, and for all the attendees. In particular, I really want to thank Carl Weimer, the Executive Director of the Pipeline Safety Trust. Not too long ago, just a few short weeks ago, I joined Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx at the White House. And he was hosting what is known as the White House Champions for Change in Transportation. And it's a program that honors everyday Americans doing extraordinary things in their communities. And the ceremony honored, and I got to participate in this ceremony. I was very honored to join the secretary. But the ceremony really honored individuals who were innovating in transportation and growing the American economy. And this year, Carl Weimer was one of the outstanding Americans recognized as a champion for change in transportation. So, Carl, as you know, is an innovative leader who has worked with community and industry groups to improve pipeline safety and successfully advocate for stronger pipeline safety regulations at the local, state, and federal level. So Carl, thank you very much for your leadership. And again, congratulations on receiving the White House Champion for Change in Transportation Award. Very, very nice. So this is my first meeting of the Pipeline Safety Trust. I had the chance to meet several folks, as Carl mentioned last night. We had the chance to walk down to Café du Monde, and I really had a nice opportunity to interact with some of you. I hope I get more time today. I'll be here for most of the day to talk to many of you attending today's conference. Since I'm fairly new to my position, I thought I might tell you a little bit about my background. For those of you that know me or don't know me, public service is really at my core. My grandfather was a veteran. He fought in World War II in the Pacific and served for over 40 years in the Corps of Engineers. My father also served the federal government. He was a Marine. He worked at the Department of Transportation, and he had over 43 years when he retired as a Secret Service agent, actually. And he was with President Reagan during the attempt on his life. My father is who I learned truly the meaning of safety and really understanding how quickly a life can change and how truly rewarding it can be to impact others' safety and really keep others safe. So, as I said, public service and the mission of safety are incredibly personal to me. And they're really at the heart of what the employees at PHMSA do each and every day. Safety is personal to me because I've also seen what happens on the other side. I've also seen how people have been harmed and been in harm's way. I've witnessed firsthand the devastation that accidents in transportation can cause, both the loss of life and the lasting impacts to families and communities. When I worked at the National Transportation Safety Board, my very first accident launch was the ValueJet Flight 592 crash in Miami, the plane that went into the Everglades. The aircraft crashed roughly 10 minutes after takeoff from MIA, and it claimed the lives of nearly everyone on board. As we conducted our investigation, it became clear to us that the cause of the accident was not mechanical. The crash happened because the cargo it was carrying hadn't been stored properly. The cargo was a hazardous material, oxygen containers. We brought in experts from PHMSA to join our investigation team, and they turned out to be integral members who wrote the regulations to prohibit oxygen containers in carriage and passenger aircraft. I've also been on site in the aftermath of gas explosions, all devastating incidents that we've learned from. Now, there are a couple of reasons I wanted to share these stories with you. First, when I came into my job, I knew from my experience that I'd be going to work with a talented team of professionals and experts at PHMSA. We have top-notch inspectors, we have lawyers, economists, and analysts who excel within their profession and who are committed to public safety each and every day. We have world-renowned engineers and scientists, some of whom are here today with us, and every member of our workforce is driving forward on our safety mission. This mission is to protect people and the environment from the risks of hazardous materials transportation, however things move, including the 2.6 million miles of pipeline nationwide. The way I see it, our reach is vast, but our mission is concise and clear. It's what drives me every day, and it's what drives the men and women at PHMSA who I work with. We all share a commitment to making PHMSA the premier safety organization in transportation. The second reason I shared this story with you is, though, as I reflect on things, I see both where PHMSA and the industry need to go. PHMSA is a global leader in advancing transportation safety, and our work supports the safest energy and hazmat transportation system in the world. Our work ensures the safe transportation of energy and other hazardous materials that America, and indeed the world, rely on every day. And the industry we regulate is almost constantly disrupted by new technology and new market forces. Not that long ago, much of the country's energy resources were not accessible. Today, like it or not, the shale revolution has changed that entirely. The United States now produces more crude oil than any other country in the world. Our nation is not only producing more, we're consuming more. As we look for clean energy, we're using more natural gas than ever before. As we add 70 million more people over the next 30 years, we'll also have millions more homes to reach. We'll have more of all types of commodities, including hazardous materials, moving through our freight network. We'll be asking more of our pipeline infrastructure than ever before. So part of our challenge from the perspective of PHMSA is making sure that our framework, our regulatory framework, and our enforcement capabilities are as robust as possible. PHMSA and the industry we regulate and our many stakeholders and safety advocates also need to be focused on staying ahead, being predictive. Much of like the aviation industry sector did after the incidents in the 1990s, such as the ValueJet crash, we need to start to look to figure out how to be more predictive moving forward. During a 10-year period starting in 1998, about 2 years after the ValueJet crash, the fatality risk for US commercial air travel went down by 83%. These days, it's commonly recognized that there has never been a safer time to travel domestically by plane. And when we look at why this happened, certainly addressing mechanical flaws were part of the reason. Certainly even stronger compliance and enforcement were part of the reason. But the bigger change was, in fact, a change in thinking that put more emphasis on the largest contributor to accidents, human factors. The industry and the FAA took a hard look at how they identified and mitigated risk. They figured out how to be smarter with the data that they had and what they were collecting. Ultimately, the aviation sector found a way to combine both strong regulatory approaches with partnerships that improve safety culture, that incentivize the sharing of best practices, all of which foster continuous improvement. And the heart of these efforts was the standing up of the safety management systems that put the FAA and the airlines in stronger positions to develop solutions before, not after, an accident occurs. Safety Management Systems, or SMS, is the safety policy of the U.S. Department of Transportation, and actively promoting SMS and a safety culture within the pipeline and hazardous materials sectors is really the next step in making our hazardous materials transportation system safer. PHMSA is committed to working together to improve safety. How? By better informing and controlling risk, detecting and correcting safety problems earlier, sharing and analyzing safety data more effectively, and by measuring safety performance more accurately. These are the benefits of a safety management system. PHMSA is committed to using all of the tools at our disposal, including partnership, education, outreach, all of which improve safety. There's no substitute for strong regulations. And if we want to drive continuous improvement in safety performance through SMS, we need to continue to enhance our vigilance with strong regulations and consistent enforcement of these regulations. If an operator messes up, PHMSA is going to hold them accountable. But we need to use all the tools at our disposal: regulation, enforcement, and drive an internal and external application of SMS. We can go above and beyond the incremental reductions in pipeline incidents we've seen over the past 20 years if we apply this methodology. We can actually change the game. And to achieve our goal of eliminating all incidents, injuries, and deaths, it's pretty clear that this is the direction that we need to take and go in. To me, the overall approach must be guided by three principles: safety, innovation, and trust. Safety is more than our mission at PHMSA. We live it, we breathe it, we value it, and it's the foundation for everything that we do. We're working to strengthen this foundation. The Excavation Damage Final Rule was published in July. It establishes the criteria that PHMSA will use to enforce federal damage prevention regulations and to hold operators accountable for excavation damage in states with inadequate, or in some cases, non-existent enforcement programs. Next, we'll focus on new regulations for rupture detection, Vows, and the gas transmission rule. All of these efforts are critical. Congress recognized this by increasing its investment in our workforce, and we're hiring up as quickly as we possibly can. And as we grow, we're focusing on strengthening PHMSA's safety culture and making strategic investments in training and employee development to ensure that we mentor and develop the next generation of pipeline and hazardous materials professionals. But we need to ramp up more than our enforcement presence. We also need to increase our ability to maximize data and how we interpret it. Innovation will help us stay ahead. It will help us anticipate safety challenges, invest in innovation and solutions, and take action to address emerging safety concerns. Data gives us the predictability and the capability we need to support risk-based approaches to our safety mission. It informs our rulemaking, and it's the basis for an effective SMS. And through data visualization, it allows us to communicate and work collaboratively to address emerging risks. A great example of how data visualization can improve safety is the work that the Pipeline Trust has done around gas transmission pipeline incident data. Data visualization helps add context to discrete pieces of information. And today, I'm delighted to announce that PHMSA launches a new performance data and gas distribution and transmission pipeline information on operators. The new online data tool was developed with the help of many in this room, including many of our stakeholders. And it really provides the public with extensive reports and resources showcasing serious incident rates and causes of pipeline incidents. It also provides information about gas leaks, excavation damage, high-risk materials, and information about operator and their safety program performance. So much like the information that Carl showed up today on the report card, we're going to have even more information on all of this. And if it's not up this afternoon, it'll be certainly up tomorrow morning. So I look forward to everybody checking it out and giving us some feedback. We're proud to develop an online resource that promotes public trust, access, and safety. This new tool will showcase the relationship of various operators and their safety performance, and it really provides the transparent data necessary to inform the public and about all of our specific activities, not only by operators, but also by the regulatory oversight entity, PHMSA. So collecting and improving data will help us improve our safety and really help us better understand the underlying factors that lead to pipeline incidents. I really want to thank everybody for helping inform this data tool, particularly the Trust, the National Association of Pipelines, NAPSR safety representatives, the American Public Gas Association, and the Interstate Natural Gas Association of America. All were very helpful in contributing to this tool. So if we were to continuously inform and improve safety through innovation, hopefully all of that leads to improved trust. Trust is accepting that all of the things that we say and the rules and programs we create are only as good as PHMSA's ability to carry them out. On the flip side, they are only as good as the industry's ability to meet our expectations, which, as you know, is to go above and beyond what is required by our regulations. The public's trust in our ability to deliver the highest levels of safety and continuous improvement is paramount. We also want to enhance our communication and engagement with Congress, our regulated community, and the American people, because trust is about collaboration and open and transparent communication. Collaboration is an important part of our rulemaking process, and there's so much value that advocates and everyday citizens can provide in our rulemaking process. It's a multi-step process. We try to make it as transparent as possible, and we look for feedback along the way. So anything you can do to help continue to engage in that process, we would greatly appreciate it. Safety, trust, and innovation. These are the three guiding principles of PHMSA. And the world and our economy are constantly changing. We all know that. One thing remains the same: PHMSA's safety mission. Just like car owners associate NHTSA with making sure their cars are safe, there are countless everyday experiences that people should associate with PHMSA. Something as basic as flipping on a light switch, lighting a stove, adjusting the thermostat. You're not just turning something on, you're asking something to move. The public, rightfully so, expects this very complex process to actually work. And they should associate PHMSA with why it does work. Understanding our role in ensuring that America will lead the way, not just in producing energy, but in safely transporting it. PHMSA is moving forward with a renewed vision and spirit. We are laying the building blocks to regulate the industry more effectively, and we look forward to working with advocates and industry to implement data-informed safety management systems to not only pinpoint and control risks, but also to engender a culture of continuous improvement at every level. We have many, many challenges, But with each challenge, we have an opportunity, and I look forward to working and learning from each of you as we continue to collaborate on ideas and actions to enhance pipeline safety. Together, we all can make a difference. Thank you all very much.